affecting you today?
Well, we're from Australia, so it's pretty cold.
Did you expect this when you were visiting?
No, not at all.
No. Somebody told me it's quite warm this time of year. Is that not correct?
A little. We're used to it here like this.
No, it's quite interesting, yeah. We've enjoyed it, though.
What are you doing to stay warm?
Going to the
Walking
pub.
to the pub.
An Australian camping, newsflash, because we would have been dickheads and just taken the food out on a picnic. But you actually can't eat food outside of this little tin. So you have to come inside. So you have to come inside. You have to, give me the camera. You have to lock yourself in here and you need to eat food. Because the bears, okay, can't catch your because the bears will eat the food. So you can only eat the side of tin. This is real. Australians, please know this or else you'll die like me. And you can't spit anything because I accidentally spat a peanut out and I've already got fucking grilled for it. Okay. How do I open the meat? Do I have a knife? I need a knife. I can't.
So as an Australian who moved to Canada a year and a half ago, there's quite a lot of cultural differences that I'm still learning. And these are the weirdest ones that I've come across so far. They don't sing hip hip hooray at the end of happy birthday. It just ends. Imagine being the only Australian who says hip hip hooray. Seriously, how embarrassing. You can actually go right on a red light at the traffic lights, which is so rogue. It feels illegal, shouldn't be done, but it actually makes a lot of sense. No one knows what netball is. I know it's a small sport, but I just really thought a lot more people would know. The Zara is 300 times better. The 5-cent coin is bigger than the 10-cent coin. So that makes no sense. KFC and Nando's are very different. They don't use the term fortnight. They just say bi-weekly. So when I got a job and I was asking, do I get paid fortnightly? They were just like, what? Strange. They don't have near as many flavours of Cadbury chocolate blocks that we do at home. I swear in Woolies and Coles, there's about 20 to 30 different flavours of Cadbury chocolate blocks. And there's probably like 5. And the blocks are like mini. So that sucks. The taxes are so freaking weird and confusing because whatever's on the label that you can see the price, it's not actually that price when you get to the register. The windscreen water in your car has to have like a certain defreeze liquid in it because the water will literally freeze outside. They don't call it a beanie, they call it a toque. Obviously they don't call lollies lollies, they call them candy, and they have no idea what I'm saying when I say lollies. They don't really have nail salons in the shopping centres. They don't call it a ute, everything is a truck. And I think that's it.
The fact that there was no switch on the outlets. Now, every outlet in Australia has like an on-off. So if it's switched down, it's off. If it's switched up, it's on. Or the other way around, I can't remember. But there's an on-off switch. So if it's off and you have something plugged in, it's not going to charge your phone or it's not going to give you any power. In Canada, there is no switch. You plug in, it's ready to go. Honestly, I don't know the reason, like, why we have it in Australia, we have switches. Like, I don't know if it's a safety thing. It doesn't really make sense because it's easy to switch on and off. Or, like, some people said, like, it releases less electricity or current if it's switched off. But, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me now living here. Why we have on-off switches on the outlets. Maybe someone can enlighten me.
Well, I don't know about this.
It's so yummy.
Hold on. Custard cream is the best.
Alright, ready? Eat the whole thing, Sam. Take a bite of the pepper. Don't just eat that part.
That's not the texture I was expecting.
Bro, people from Canada are so strange. Like, the moment they see the weather above 2 degrees, they want to put on some shorts, call it summer. Like, it is 6 degrees outside and people are thinking it's summer.
I don't know. Things I've learnt being an Aussie in Canada. For starters, you have to buy winter tyres for your car because you don't just, use the same set of tyres all year round just because Canada likes to be difficult. Number 2, fortnight's not a word here, which is weird because you come over here and go, oh, do we get paid fortnightly? Whatever. Everyone just looks at you funny. It's not ideal. What else is there? 5-cent coin that's bigger than the 10-cent coin. That's odd. And it's actually wild that people over here are so scared of Australia and all its little creatures and critters and stuff. But you guys have bears that you literally can't outrun. Cougars, they'll stalk you. You won't know they're there until they want you to know they're there. And nose hairs will freeze up. Yeah. And these guys just live out here all the time. Most importantly, everyone forgets how to drive when it snows.
Okay, I just flew the whole way across Canada to go to St. Patrick's Day at Queen's University, and we need to buy a big bottle for Burge bottle. Is it Burge? Borg bottle, and we just went to 4 shops, and this is the 5th one because Noah has the bottle. So now get to go into Walmart for the first time. This place is fucking huge. How is there McDonald's inside a shop? A shop inside a shop in a big shop? No way. We can't find the big water jugs anywhere, like the ones we need, but we found something that might do the job. It's not ideal. Vinegar. Big bottles of vinegar. We secured the bag. Let's go. Dude, what the fuck? So I'm working on my bike. Look what I just saw come past. Dude, this has made my mood so much better. Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god. Whoa. I never seen. Look how small it is. That is so cute. Mom, wait. Mom. Wait, Mom.
Oh my god, this is my dream. I'm touching it. Fuck yeah. Look at it, Ralph.
So in Canada, they have yellow school buses and stop in the middle of the road when picking up kids. I talked about this a couple of months ago, but I was able to get a video. So yeah, both lanes of traffic have to stop and wait for the kids.
Let's get in here. Everybody come on over.
This video makes me so jealous because I had such an opposite experience. I'm an Australian, I visited Vancouver, it was like a 31-hour flight, and I went outside the hostel just for a walk, and I saw some geese. Hi geese! They came for me. And then I was just running for my life. And the worst thing was, every single Canadian I've told this story to lost it laughing and thought it was the funniest thing ever. People think Australian wildlife is mean. Canadian wildlife is really mean.
Come up to what, hole 4, and I thought that was just 2 of them.
Yeah, earlier they
and
were
then
all hanging out here, but there's only like 5 of them.
Oh my goodness, look how many. Count the bloody elk, mate. Holy. What the? There's so many everywhere. That's ridiculous.
I was in Canada. I did the North American continent ritual. I went to a Walmart, and I get it now. I understand it. What a magical place. We have nothing like it in Australia, where you can buy track pants and ground beef all in the same aisle. It was actually where I was getting my groceries. It was near the hotel I was staying at. You know, it's Canadian because it's covered in French, which is my favorite bit. Canada, what a vibe.
As an Australian currently living in Canada, of course, I had to try this because in Australia, creamer is not a thing. Me saying that I've been wanting to try this my whole entire life is not an understatement. So this better not disappoint. So first, we have the Starbucks iced coffee in medium roast. We've got a cup of ice, and this feels so wrong because it's currently freezing outside. But this is how the girlies on TikTok do it, so this is the way we're gonna do it. All right, let's pour some of this in. And I feel like we just got to try it first without anything in it. Actually, as the taste goes on, it's not too bad. Now the thing that I'm so excited about is this creamer. This is the almond and oat non-dairy coffee creamer in caramel macchiato. Guys, my dreams are coming true right now. Let's pour it in. I hope that wasn't too much. Okay, she looks beautiful. Let's give her a swirl. I'm really just hoping that this is good because all the girlies on TikTok make it look so delicious. Let's try it out. Cheers. Okay, I think I put a little bit too much creamer in because it's very sweet, but it tastes delicious. I might just add a little bit more of the coffee just to give it more of a coffee flavour. Oh yeah, this is delicious. Americans, Canadians, you're doing it right. This gets a 10 out of 10 for me.
Guys, Australia has ruined me. As a Canadian, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but it is 6:30 p.m. It is 16 degrees Celsius, and I am absolutely freezing. I'm from Toronto. Like 16 degrees Celsius when I lived in Toronto was like you would wear t-shirts and shorts and be like celebrating life. And now I can like barely operate. I'm wearing a fucking North Face jacket. Who am I turning into?
Things that make no sense to me as an Australian living in Toronto. 1. Bread. Why do you cut the ends off it? Just give me the whole thing. And especially that brand that does it on one side and not the other. Dumb. 2. Tipping. Why do I have to do it? Food's so expensive here. Like, I get why I have to do it. But like, just up your minimum wage. It's not my job to pay for staff. That's the restaurant owner's job. You're more like the US than you want to be. 3, while we're on prices, include taxes beforehand. Like, dude, why would you want to get to the cash register just to find out that it's more expensive than they said it would be? Dumb. 4, why is everything in French? The only French-speaking person I've met here outside of Montreal was born in Paris. Just put it in English. They'll be fine.
The Canadians do not agree on this one thing, and it's really hard for me to work it out as an Australian because we do not tip in Australia. Usually when I go to another country, I can get a general consensus from the locals, but in Canada, no. Everyone says something different. Some people are so mad at the tipping, they're like, fuck it, you don't have to tip at all, or 10% if you really want to. Other people are like, it's minimum 18 to 20% and more if it's good service. And you throw into the mix these like iPads where you just order a takeout coffee and people are like, you got to give like $1 when you order one coffee, or other people are like they've never tipped for that in their life. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
Everybody lines up. No matter where you are, what you're waiting for, people will line up. Lived in other countries, and there's always like railings and stuff, like indicating where to line up. Not so much in Canada, because everyone will form a line regardless if it's a coffee shop, if it's fast food, no matter. Sporting event, no problem. Even the GO train, where there's like thousands of people getting off the train, like there'll be room where you could just dart around and like sort of cut in. But no, everyone will go like around the stairs and just be patient. It's so nice to see. It's so civilized. It's so polite. It's so Canadian.
I'm an Australian living in Canada. It's currently summer here. And one thing I realized that I find very amusing is that people are using like personal fans and personal cooling devices for the sweltering heat. It's 26 degrees. In all my summers I experienced in Australia, I don't think I ever saw anybody with a personal fan. Maybe like a old grandmother with one of those hand fans, but never anything else. Even when it reached like above 40 during the peak of summer, I don't think I saw anybody with a personal fan. I find it very amusing, honestly.
This is my first time living somewhere where there's actually weather seasons. Like not that long ago, I remember it being negative 20 degrees and now it's like 25, going to be 30 today. Where I live, it's 30 degrees in summer, 20 degrees in winter. It just doesn't change. And even 20 degrees is still so cold. But here, I don't know how you guys so casually gets like 35 in summer, negative 30 in winter. And it's like, yeah, whatever. What the fuck? How do you do it? How do you own so many clothes? How are you used to that? You can't get used to anything. It's changing all the time.
For years, Canada has been known around the world for its breathtaking landscapes, endless forests, incredible wildlife, and friendly reputation. But something fascinating is happening as more visitors from Australia experience Canada for the first time family. They're discovering a country that feels surprisingly familiar, yet completely different from anything that they expected. And so many Australians arrive in Canada thinking that they already understand what this country will be like. After all, both nations are large, multicultural countries with a love of nature, outdoor adventures, and even a reputation for being laid back. But the moment they step into Canadian cities, family, explore the mountains, walk through the neighborhoods, and even interact with Canadians, many say that they encounter something they never expected. The first surprise for many Australian visitors is the sheer scale and beauty of Canada. Coming from a country famous for beaches, for deserts and unique wildlife. Australians are used to incredible landscapes, but Canada offers a completely different type of natural wonder. And so instead of endless coastlines and warm climates, visitors are suddenly surrounded by towering mountains, massive lakes, snowy landscapes, and forests that seem to stretch forever. And so for many Australians family, visiting places like Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City, Canada feels almost like stepping into a movie. And so the combination of modern cities surrounded by incredible nature creates an experience that many first-time visitors say is unforgettable. But perhaps the biggest surprise is not the scenery, it is the people. And so many Australians say that they are fascinated by the kindness and politeness they experience from Canadians. And so from strangers offering directions to people starting friendly conversations, visitors often notice a welcoming culture that makes them feel comfortable, even thousands of kilometers away from home. And so there is something powerful about arriving in a foreign country and immediately feeling accepted. And so for many travelers, those small interactions become the moments they remember most. And it is not just about seeing famous landmarks, it is about how a country makes you feel. And so another thing that surprises Australians is how diverse Canada really is. And so many people imagine that Canada as one simple image, the snow, the mountains, and hockey. But when they arrive, they discover a country filled with different cultures, different languages, different foods and traditions. And so Toronto's multicultural neighborhoods, Montreal's French influence, Vancouver's Asian Pacific connections, and the unique character of each province reveal a much more complex Canada than many outsiders imagine. And then there is the lifestyle. Australians often notice that Canada shares some similarities with Australia, and love for outdoor activities, appreciation for nature, and a relaxed attitude toward life. But Canada adds its own unique experience: winter adventures, enormous national parks, skiing, ice skating, and the incredible feeling of experiencing 4 completely different seasons. And so for some Australian visitors, Canada becomes a reminder that the world still has places where people can slow down, where people can explore and reconnect with nature. And so the fascinating part is that many visitors arrive expecting Canada to simply be another Western country, but after experiencing it themselves, they realize that Canada has its own identity. It is not just a colder version of another nation, it is its own culture, its own personality, and its own way of welcoming the world.